So let's get into it. Boss Energy, BOE, on track to reach December quarter production at the uranium project in South Australia. And I will admit, I know bugger all about uranium. So lads, I'm looking forward to you both enlightening me and the money miners about the uranium sector and Boss in particular. Kalgoorlie dial-in man, Ricciardo, give us the goss, mate. What's the insight? I've assumed your position on the table too, just letting you know.
Cheers, Matty. Well, the news today is Boss, they came out with an announcement confirming to the market that they're on track for production in the December quarter at their Honeymoon uranium project in South Australia. And whenever I see an announcement come out right before you know their quarterly is going to come out, I'm always a little bit curious. It is a bit of a strange one not to just bundle this announcement with their quarterly, which there's only 4 more days of quarterly reporting left. And so Boss are expected to, put some more feedback out to the market in just a few days' time. And it doesn't feel like a massive announcement to warrant a separate drop to the ASX. So that, whenever I see something like that, I do want to do a bit of a deep dive, and I can't quite piece together any glaring reason why they might have chosen to put out a separate release in this one. However, we should talk about the project because it is pretty interesting. The big piece of this announcement is just that they've confirmed that they're fully funded to production, and they currently have $103 million of cash on hand at the 31st of March. So, this announcement also follows just within the last month. Boss appointed Wyatt Buck as the chairperson, non-exec chair to their board. And he had previous roles at both McCarthy River and Langer Heinrich, and adds a bit of uranium operational expertise at the board level there. So I think there is 1 or 2 quite interesting things to talk about here in relation to Boss. And the first thing I'll point out to the money miners is that spot uranium prices at the moment are currently about US $52 per pound. And the feasibility study for Honeymoon was done at a $60 per pound uranium price, and that penned about an 11-year mine life for the project and a $412 million NPV. Now, why does that catch my eye? Well, the uranium price is lower than in the study, and yet Boss's market cap is about twice as much as the NPV of the project, and that's despite the fact that you've still got ramp-up risk. Like, this thing hasn't actually started production yet; it's still in construction, and we all know developers have massive ramp-up risk, which isn't actually factored into the NPV of a project. So that's pretty unusual to see something like that. And I think when you dive into it, I can identify 4 reasons why I think Boss's market cap right now is about double the NPV of the Honeymoon project. The first one that I can see is that brokers are actually forecasting uranium prices to move upwards over the next few years. Consensus long-term uranium prices are about $65 per pound US. And I think in a different episode, we should definitely unpack what the market dynamics that are causing that. The second thing is that the market actually appears to be factoring in that there is resource upside here at Honeymoon. There's a lot of material that's not actually included in that study, and hence, the ability for Boss to extend their mine life beyond that initial 11 years seems to be pretty real. The third thing is that Boss, they have the potential to increase their EFS production nameplate capacity, currently at 2.45 million pounds per annum, to the company's 3.3 million pounds per annum mineral export permit. And so there's upside on a throughput perspective. And the fourth thing to point out is that the company actually holds close to $100 million worth of physical uranium themselves. So chuck that in when you're calculating the sum of the parts value of the company.
So, lads, what's the take on uranium? JD, you got much info on it globally, the consensus?
Nuclear energy and uranium is just a really fascinating space, and it's definitely an area I reckon we should get an expert to come and chat us through. If you just search nuclear power plants, nuclear energy, and these sorts of things, some of the hits you'll get lately are Germany shut down their last 3 power reactors. That's been a long time coming. They were meant to close last year, those 3, but they were extended due to the energy supply crunch that Germany had given the war in Ukraine. So it's interesting, a quote from the energy minister there saying nuclear power is ultimately unmanageable. The risks are just unmanageable for them. So Greenpeace marked this as a day of celebration there. But on the flip side of that, Greta Thunberg said that this was just a huge mistake. So them going head to head on an issue or on a topic they're normally firmly on the same side of is kind of interesting. And this all happened in the same week that we saw Finland open another reactor. In the past couple of months, we've seen France say they want to extend the life of all of their reactors and they want to build some more. China wants to build some more. Japan are looking to build new reactors. And given they had that disaster in 2011, it's just a super divisive topic, which you can see just from those headlines. So it's something I think we should get an expert to come have a chat about.
Yeah, it sounds definitely. Reach out, any uranium experts there.